have not much left. Okay, you know what I said? I said that I'm gonna record this from one single tape. I'm just gonna say it all once and everything is gonna be fine. But no. So let's rock and roll. Hi there, this is Angela, and for those who are new, welcome. Today we're going to reveal if you can become wealthy through real estate investment. Subscribe to the channel so you benefit from all of the upcoming videos that I'll be revealing soon. So, what are you waiting for? Let's find out. Welcome to Miami.
Let's go!
Okay, so you've done it. You build a little bit of cushion in your bank account, and I bet it feels good, doesn't it? But now you're thinking of investment, and you're actually in the right place because, believe it or not, you don't need a lot of money to start investing in real estate. You just need a lot of knowledge and guidance and to know how to achieve that. Real estate is a leverage business and a knowledge business, and you're in the right spot. That's why I am here to teach you along the way and be an inspiration for your journey. Without further ado, let's begin. So let me get myself comfortable because this is a very interesting topic and I need a lot of comfort for this one. Okay, so obviously we're gonna start looking back for some of the wealthiest people in real estate, how they achieve their wealth, and how can you do the same. For once, stop inventing the wheel and do what others have done already, because success leaves clues, and if you pay attention to those, it's that easy. But first, you need to understand that real estate, it's not a get-rich-quick method. It takes time for it to become a huge wealth. It's not too easy because if it was, everyone would be doing it. How else can we start if without some powerful inspirations from the richest real estate billionaires that exist in the US right now? And we're talking here about with a net worth of $17.4 billion with a B. And here we're talking about Donald Bren. Now you might be thinking and asking, how in the world could one single person achieve so much real estate wealth within a lifetime? Well, this might sound surprising to you, but believe it or not, he started at the age of 26 in 1958 with, guess what, $10,000. It was a loan borrowed from his family. He almost made it as an Olympic in 1956 as well, if it wasn't for his ankle injury. Donald had 3 years in the Marine Corps, which taught him the most important lesson in life.
Stan, I learned this early on in the Marine Corps. Spent 3 years there, and I was educated in a different way. Their motto, which I never forgot, was mission first, then the team, then the self.
Now I'll be real with you, because Donald, he did come from a wealthy family. Unfortunately, his parents divorced when he was 16, but you might say, well, he had an advantage. But we're talking about the 50s in here, where opportunities were a lot more limited than they are today. Having wealth is one thing, but maintaining it and growing it is a whole different ballgame. What Donald did, well, he focused on buying land in a great location and then developing them later on.
You have to go to the land, and it's about location, location, and location.
That strategy got him into different and better fields later on, creating this massive wealth that he has today. Well, let's look at someone else then. Let's look at Berg. A net worth of $1.3 billion, who started with nothing. At an early age, his father died and he grew up in New Mexico with his school teacher mother. He financed his college by repairing vending machines and working as a clerk in a hotel. So he had 2 jobs already, saving money, put everything aside so he can start buying his first property. Well, Carl, he started his real estate journey by working as a mortgage broker for a top-tier builder that he met while he was in college. So you never know where your next chance and where your next opportunity might come. So be open, my friends, because life can be very amazing or very harsh if you sit and not doing anything. And so on, let's move forward because there are many people like them and the examples can be countless. It doesn't matter where you're coming from or what you're doing, like I mentioned before, in life right now. If you put your mind and soul to something, you can achieve it. And believe it, you can. Throughout the history, I know there was a lot of wealth built through real estate. How did they do it? What type of real estate they focused on? What were the strategies? These are things that we want to know because real estate is an area where everyone thinks that they're an expert, and in reality most do not understand how real estate markets change over the time, and many investors lose money in their first deal or two, mostly because they either pay too much for the property, they didn't do their research enough, or they do something else. They overpay and they overspend on a fixer-upper or whatever type of properties they buy. They spend too much in renovating and doing things to the property that they don't know and they don't have the knowledge. Especially I'm talking up here about the beginners. They don't have the knowledge of what it makes sense to improve and what doesn't make sense to improve. Where should I put my money first? Because if you fix something that doesn't bring you money back, that's a bad investment. It doesn't matter what location you made it. You have to know what you need to upgrade and what you do not need to upgrade. And some of the investors, they will put like, oh, I bought like a $5,000 refrigerator. You don't need that because that's not going to give you your $5,000 back. So you should know about those things because the point in investing is to get money back, right? You're not going to just pour money in and never take something back, at least take what you put in back. And if you are against the idea of losing money and if you are completely new at this, you might want to partner with someone who done it before so you don't get burned. However, the real estate industry is huge and sometimes you get lost in the layers and it's not all about the investment. Real estate is part investment and then part business. You have to know both if you want to do real estate. If you decide to become an investor, well, these are the things that you should consider before starting. Number one, first, start saving as much money as you can. Without anything saved, even if you have $1,000, just have it saved. So you can have set aside for the down payment on your first deal. Okay, second, if you do not have it already, get your credit score above 620 so you can afford a better mortgage. It's always good to know what you can afford and what you cannot. In today's reality, we know that interest rates are a little bit higher than we wanted them to be, but always consult with someone so you can know if it is a good time for you to invest, when is the best time. In my opinion, is never a bad time to buy real estate. It's a bad time to finance it. So when was the best time to buy real estate? Well, it was yesterday or it was 10 years ago if you could. Even if you buy it at a higher interest rate, what can happen? What can happen? You buy the property today at a higher interest rate, but yet at a better price. And when the interest rates go lower, you refinance and you normalize that interest rate on a better rate. So there you go. Easy fix. We just need someone that knows how to do it. Unless you are the affluent, you will need funding. Now, leverage is the primary means of creating wealth, and we all know this. Basically, you can buy a property more expensive than you can have money for. After you purchase a property, you might want to do the fixing in it. If you can do it yourself, you can do it too if you're in handy, but it will save you some money. But the goal is to keep your down payment as low as possible, so you don't need to waste all your cash on one deal first. The next thing that I will recommend if you're investing is always invest in long term. Most of the flippers ultimately declare bankruptcy. The wealthiest in real estate never sell. Like never. And when there is time to sell, they find a way to go around it, so they don't pay taxes for it. And that's another story that I can tell you about. Subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about that. If you're an investor, buy only as much as you manage, because you could expand later on by delegating to a property manager other things. But at the beginning, if you're starting out, buy as much as you can. I know your eyes are bigger than your head sometimes, but you should buy as much as you can manage. As an investor, you need to decide what kind of property you're going to invest in, your time and money in it. Is it a single family? Is it a multifamily? Is it a mixed use? Is it commercial? Do you want to build them from scratch? What is it? Will it be for a short-term period? Will it be for a long-term period? Which is it? You have to know what you want. Make a strategic plan and go for it. As an investor, don't be afraid to buy land and hold it for many years and develop on it, perhaps, because land, the good part of land is they never depreciate. Typically, it goes up in value, if I consider. Rarely goes down, unless let's say there is a water source that dries up or something like that. But something to consider as an investor, because not many do that. And there are some of the wealthiest people in US right now that they started their real estate career, their real estate portfolios with a land. So location is everything in land. In land, location, location, location. Nothing better than location. As an investor, you need to know your numbers. If you have no idea how, well, be open-minded, because knowledge is how you will create your cash flow. Learn people skills, learn to negotiate, learn the leasing, learn the building codes. What are the local zoning laws? You need to know property management. Go with mentors and with industry experts. Education is key. So go study. Listen to podcasts, read books, Google it. In this day and age, there is an infinite amount of education in regards to this. Pay someone to show you how to do it. And after you study and after you do all those things, apply and take action on what you have studied, because otherwise there's no need for it. Sounds simple, but actually requires a lot of work. So put in the work. Another big thing you need to know as an investor is you always need to have a reserve. You never know what can go wrong. So always have something in there. Have a cushion of money. Have something saved apart, because you want to have a backup just in case. Better safe than sorry, right? And as an investor, make sure you buy low, sell high. If you want, or you will have to sell it whenever you will want to sell it. Know your market, not what you think the market it is, but what actually the market it is, because there is a very big difference You need data, lots of data. And most of the realtors, they have all the data. You just, have to be very nice with them so they can give it to you. And have your numbers in handy. This where your numbers come in handy. You need to be good at numbers, or if you're not, have a good realtors who can have the numbers you can consult with, someone that knows the area that you want to buy, and make sure that there is something that you could also renovate in the property so it can brings the value more and attracts the tenants. Always buy in areas that after repairs your property will be worth just below the average price. And this way, it ensures that you will have tenants in any type of market. So search by neighborhood that are underpriced. Sounds good. Sounds easy, right? It's a little bit more complicated than that. Get a realtor. They're going to help you out with that. Next, as an investor, try to concentrate your deals in one area. So you'll have more influence in the future of that area if you do so. If you own a large portfolio, acquiring all that you can within, let's say 40 miles range of the most successful Walmart around, for example. This mostly applies if you have partners. So, with more cash in the game, because you need a lot of money for that. But it's a good idea to invest and to try to, have yourself in one location so you pretty much take over. As an investor, have a very strict application and tenant screening. In that way, all the bad tenants won't even apply or won't come back. So let the application scare them away. You just have to be very strict. So in this way, you know who can stay and who cannot. And also you can have a late fee that applies when they don't pay in time, for example, for a late rent. You can also have them sign to report the payments to the credit bureaus. It will help the tenants, to build up a credit score. So that can be at a tenant's choice, let's say so. Okay, next, you need good marketing. You need a good marketing plan. You need to prioritize that so you know how to promote your properties, because sometimes a picture says a million words. You can say that your property is amazing, is located in this and that, but if your picture says different, or if you don't have any pictures, that's even worse. Make sure you have good marketing. And if you're doing it yourself, you can study and learn how to do that. You can pay a photographer or do it yourself if you know how to do it. If not, hire someone who knows how to do it, who's very savvy in marketing and knows marketing very well, because it's going to make a big difference. It can make a big difference in how much you're going to charge compared to how much you're going to charge. Then, as an investor, what you can do, use the 1031 exchange. If you have no idea what this is for tax benefits, and most of the investors are already doing this. So it goes like this. You buy a property, you keep it for 2 years. It has to be an investment. It cannot be a personal property. It has to be an investment. You have to rent it at least 6 months of the year. And there's some conditions with it. But what they're doing, they keep it for 2 years, and after 2 years, they swap it with another property. They sell that, they buy another one in a specific time frame, and in this way, they don't pay sales tax on the property when they transfer it. And they keep transferring every 2 years until they accumulate as much properties they want and as much wealth as they want. And when they finally want to get rid of that first property, what they do? They give it for donations. And there we go. It goes together with all the taxes accumulated all these years. So you're welcome. That's a good strategy to use as an investor, isn't it? That's why I'm here. I want to share things that I know and share the things that I see some investors doing. This way, it becomes a write-off. At the end, when you donate it, it becomes a write-off. So you're not obligated to pay those taxes anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying here? This is investment 101. If nobody told you that so far, I'm happy that I did. Next, what you want to do as a new investor, if you start investing in real estate, you need to start developing a stable of private investors. Number one, always pay them on time. Never never risk their capital, and have your money first in the deal and then have theirs. Because if something goes wrong, at least you lose yours and you don't ruin your reputation and you don't ruin everything that you started to build for so long and for so many years. Sometimes it takes years to find good partners that wants to come along with you. So make sure you do those things. Next, you have to know okay, so this is a good one because this comes in handy to pretty much anything, not just investment. I'm talking here about real estate, but this goes along for everything you're doing in this life. Know the things you're good at and the things you're not good at. Because if you're not good at something, if you're not good at numbers, for example, you most likely hate it. Well, get a partner who is. If you don't know, for example, how to spot a good deal, partner with someone knowledgeable. Partner with a knowledgeable realtor. Most likely they can help you with numbers as well. So there we go. Kill two birds in one shot. Save you more money and save you more risks along the way. Build a power team of lawyers, accountants, real estate agents, contractors, and other people that you think you might need for you and your business. Then, what next thing you want to do as an investor, you always want to keep records of each and every project that you do and have. So, in this way, you know what's going in, what's going out, what is happening in that place. You know all the numbers, you know the profit, you know the loss, and all the operation costs, and many, many, many more. You want to go over it, you want to analyze it and see what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. In this way, you can make a more educated decision ahead for your next deals. And plus, looking back at what you've done, it's kind of satisfying, I can tell. Another thing I find it that it is very successful for so many people is networking. And you might say, well, I don't like networking. I don't like meeting with people and just drinking champagne and talking to so many people. And I get home and I forget their names. I forget who I talked to. I gave so many business cards and nobody remembers me and I don't remember anyone. I feel you. I've been there, I've done that. But there is a better way, because in today's reality, you can network pretty much virtually as well. And even if you go in person for a networking event, try to focus on at least one person. Don't go in there and spread yourself too thin, trying to speak to every single person you see in there to make yourself worthwhile being there. Try to focus on and give your full attention to one person, maybe 2 people, 3 people, maximum of 3, because the moment you start talking to more people than needed, you'll forget who is who've done what, what's their history, and you start like commingling their stuff, like you're gonna say to one guy or one girl, oh, I remember you've been skiing last year in Colorado and she has never been in Colorado. You know what I mean? So you don't want to mix those things together. Networking is an art. From the scratch. You have to be honest. You have to be truthful to yourself and to the other person. What do you want from them? You don't want, when you network, most people, what they do bad, the wrong thing that most of them are doing, and I'm going to do another video on this. Tell me your story, ask for help. Well, that's why I'm here for, to connect, help, and inspire you. Also, help anyone you can along the way. Treat your team and the tenants fairly, and you will be on a wealthy path, because you have to realize that you deal with people after all. Let everyone win in the game and you will win too, believe it. Well, after all of this and after all the above and everything that we discussed, Now you realize that real estate is indeed a slow and steady investment, but still very much worth investing your time and efforts and finances into it. There is a lot of advantages, potential for opportunities, for appreciation, and while you provide someone else with a safe and comfortable place to live, they're the ones paying pretty much for your mortgage. So that's something that is really helpful in the real estate industry. No wonder real estate is and remains to be the oldest way to build wealth because of the overall financial gains over time. Well, I hope this information was helpful to you, and if I missed something or if you wanted me to talk about something more, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will usually go over it and read and reply to each one of them. If you have a topic in mind or a suggestion that you would like me to make a video about, leave it in a comment below and I'll highly consider it. Thanks for watching, and I hope that it was helpful, and see you next time. Bye! Now I can hear it. Now I can hear my natural voice. Now I'll be real with you. Really? Hey, are you thinking of hitting me in the head or what? Like, I don't understand. You have to stay there. Like, what's going on there? Did you see that? Or is just me? Like, echo, echo, echo. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh. I believe I can fly. Oh, oh, I fly. Do not ever sing. Do not stop singing because this is not for you. Sha. Oh, I cannot change it. I cannot change it. I cannot change it. There you go. So I'm having fun all the time, every time, because this is how we do it, right? Okay, this is a warm-up voice. Don't forget about it. You get the point. And my headset is falling too. Stay here. My God. So we're back on time. Focus, 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 focus.